everyone. How are we doing? All right, we got our last run in the evening here with NicV for Super Mario 64 120 star. Let's get super hyped for this. Nick, feel free to introduce yourself and your commentators.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm NicV, Mario Runner Extraordinaire. I got my two commentators, Shana64.
Yo, what is up, everybody?
And Chip Groove.
Hey, how you doing?
And I mean that's all I need for introductions. I'm ready whenever you guys are. To start. Should I count down?
Feel free. Ready?
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. So we're doing Mario 64. So it's a pretty underground game made by a small indie company in '96. I know it's like a small speedrun scene. A few people have seen the runs before, but we're doing the 120 star category, which I'm sure most of you guys have seen before, heard of before. It's collecting every single star in every single stage and all the castle secret stars. I mean, it's Mario 64, so like once we get more into the specifics of the strats, there'll be a lot. But I mean, I don't think it really needs much of an introduction.
Yeah, its reputation definitely perceives itself as a speedrun.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's been in pretty much every marathon that I've ever seen, at least, except for like GDQs, because GDQ tends not to accept it because it's so popular and everybody's seen it. So they say, but.
That means that even then, like it's still so much fun to watch, and there's still so much to it.
And the thing is, like even at this point too, it's ever evolving. Like there's still new stuff getting added to it, which is insane with how popular the game's been.
Yeah, it's definitely a game with like optimizations on optimizations and strats, and every runner does different strats. Every runner has their own unique stuff they like to go for, things they don't think is worth it, things they like to yell at each other to do.
Talking to the man on the cloud.
Yeah, that was my bad. We're gonna start off already with some glitches. We got bomb clip right away.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think that makes this speedrun really popular as well, is that right away it hits you over the head with like, alright, a couple, skips and glitches where it's like, alright, Lakitu skip right away, then bomb clip right away. It's like, alright, so right away you're diving in. It's like, alright, this is cool.
We get a 50-second intro, and then like not much downtime until we don't get any more downtime until like the end of the game.
Yeah, now it's just constant action going and going, especially like now that we're going over to Womps. It's like,
oh man, you guys want to talk about Womps a little bit?
I think if you're a speedrunner of this game and you don't like this stage, this is not the game for you, because you're going to be here a lot.
It's definitely probably one of the hardest stages in the game. I think it's easily top 3 hardest stages in the game.
Yeah, it's just so happens that we make this like basically it's our first full level of the run, but it's filled with tricks and glitches and clips and stuff. Which right away, Owless, just showing how difficult this stage is. Yeah, even like,
oh my god,
second place in 120 star Cheese like constantly complains about how hard Owless is, so it's like not even crazy to see people mess it up.
It's one of those things that like you practice it a lot, but you forget that it's like your angle's specific, your speed is specific, and even which frame you wall kick on. You have to get a second or third frame wall kick.
I think next we're probably going to go into cannonless, I assume. This is one of the flashiest tricks in the run.
Why? Okay.
Yeah, another weird mistake. Just falling off the bridge there, but
I gotta get warmed up. I gotta. The next starts will look even faster if I mess up the first few a little bit.
That's a very fair point there.
It also helps that you have that nice little backup. That's another nice thing about this game, is that you're not singled to like do one star or like one task at a time. You can freeform it as much as you want, so it allows for a lot of like backups into other stars. To keep it going.
There are like certain stages where I do like specific orders because like a star will back up another star well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Womps is one of those. I mean, we just saw if you happen to fail cannonless, Wild Blue is right there, and you can snag it in the event that there's a mistake on that star.
Yeah,
And that'll happen in lots and lots of situations. In fact, later on in the run, we'll get to SSL or Shifting Sandland, and typically we'll start with the trick pillarless.
I'm just gonna do the setup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, just go and do sock folder. So the attempt that he was trying to do was like a somewhat, newer version than the version he's gonna be doing now, which is sock folder.
There we go, easy.
Yeah, but before was texture, which you try to line up. People use different textures, but try to line up basically with the spot that you would grab automatically with like that full setup that you do. So it's a little bit, finicky because you have to find that specific spot. Rather with the full setup, you're going and you're getting there automatically. Mario showing off a little handstand in the tree. There's a lot of upper body strength. Gotta love it.
Kicking it off with Womps 100 now. Every one of the 15 main courses has a 100 coin star attached to it, which has some of the most interesting routing in the game for each one.
I think that's what makes 120 star like so unique and so interesting is the 100 coin stars, because typically they're long and difficult, so most categories don't do them at all, and 120 star has to do them.
Right. No skipping here. That's another, very complex 100 coin, just, adding on to the difficulty that we've been, really hitting hard on, where it's like, this is a tight cycle you have to make for, in order to save as much time as you want, so.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed the fast cycle, but I did get the half cycle at least. The run starts off tough with like Bomb Clip, Owless, Class, 100 coins, just right there at the beginning.
Yeah, you'll see many a speedrunner reset to those 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. In a no reset run, Womps is even more scary because usually, you have Womps at the beginning. It's a super hard stage, but if you mess it up, oh, there's the reset button. Where in this case, it's like, oh, there's the reset button and we can't hit it. So
yeah, it's looking so tantalizing on my N64 right now.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's just back this up, 10 minutes and let's redo the intros again.
Right. And, in a lot of speedruns, a lot of the time, the beginning of the run will often be highly optimized because you do it over and over again. And it just so happens that Womps Fortress lends itself to lots and lots of very small optimizations that make it so hard. And even large speedrunners of this game, like Clint Stevens and stuff, people will be in his chat being like, uh-oh, back to Womps every time he makes a mistake.
Please don't send me back to Womps, please.
Yeah. I
don't want to be there anymore.
Know what Womps looks like as well as runners of this game. Just if you're at all knowledgeable with this game, it's like, oh yeah, this stage is very well implanted in your brain.
Okay, at least those last 2 stars went well.
Yeah, now we're out.
and now we got to go from probably one of the highest octane, fastest, most interesting stages to JRB and Aquarium. Which actually, as boring as swimming is as a viewer, it is a completely different story as a speedrunner. I think Chip, you could explain a lot about like swimming and how important it is. If I can get into Aquarium.
Well, swimming in general, in this game, you have to tap the A button rhythmically in order to get maximum swimming speed. And you want to maintain that the entire time as much as you can. There are some small instances in which you want to be killing your speed a little bit to make tighter corners and stuff. But for the most part, you want to be tapping with the right speed every single time that you're able. And most of the optimizations in Swimming Stars really just come from the fact that your angle matters so much. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. You're just trying to make straight line as much as you can. And that's really a lot harder than it sounds.
And if you're even like a little bit late, like right there, I missed one swim. And if you're even a little bit late, Mario like completely stalls and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's really crazy the level of optimization that like swimming has once you get to the really top level of this game. Like people with the 138s and 139s, like an hour and 38-minute time in this category, like their swimming is somehow, light years faster than everybody else's, and it doesn't, really make sense. 'Cause it should seem, like you said, like a fairly easy thing to replicate.
Yeah, even anybody that knows this game well, it's so hard to look at a top runner and compare that to your own swimming and be like, how are they moving 15 seconds faster than me and JRB? Their gold is so much faster. All they done was swim the entire time.
I messed up ship clip. I'm gonna back it up.
Yeah. Again, going back to having those backups handy. So, like, you mess up a trick, no big deal. We go and we get this backup star, but I'll just go and try ship clip again next time.
One of the complaints from viewers is probably that ship clip is about the most interesting thing that JRB has to offer.
I actually think it's a fun stage to play, but I can definitely understand why it's not the funnest stage to watch.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah, when you
talk a bit about lag reduction.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably another place where the top guys really separate themselves. Is that this game was definitely not made for the N64s, to handle it. So a lot of the camera angles, like if you were just to leave them alone, would give you a tremendous amount of lag. So we try to manipulate the camera to remove a lot of the polygons off the screen so that we reduce a lot of that lag. And Nick right there just had a very nice ship clip where
I messed up the first one, but that one was clean.
Just able to you got a chip.
The camera angle that he took when he got to the eel was also a bit of a subtlety that I think I pretty much only see Nick do. Everybody else just kind of goes at the eel blind, but he managed to find himself a setup there.
Yeah, I like to do that little camera angle. It's not necessary if you get it first try, but the loading zone's actually a lot more finicky to get into than it looks. The eel has hitboxes, and it can hit you out of the ship or kill you, or it can be frustrating. So I do that camera angle in case I miss. And it helps it like back it up if you mess up.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, ship clip, looking at it looks like, oh, I just swam through like a part of the ship that wasn't even there. How hard could that possibly be? Well, again, trying to control Mario while he's swimming is literally just like, imagine you have a very large boat and you have like a twig as your oar. It's like very hard to maneuver Mario into your like the specific spot where you want him to go, even if you know exactly where you like need him to be.
I'm gonna do 100 coins next. If you want to talk about the charity a little bit, you can.
Foxy.
Oh yeah, we can talk so much about the charity. Well, first of all, we've been waiting for somebody to drop a nice hot dono. So Chip, thank you very much for your $16.10 dono. We finally hit the $250 mark and got over that 90-cent little bit that we went to round out the rest of our bit. But yeah, for this marathon, we're supporting the RAD charity, which is the Rise Above the Disorder, a nonprofit dedicated to battling two of the greatest barriers to mental health, which are access and affordability, which with any sort of, healthcare, affordability is a big thing, but just making sure that the people have access to it is another huge process. But you know what? 37,000 people across the world, it's a pretty big piece. So support as much as you can. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Been really enjoying the run so far and love the commentary.
Yeah, and now we're back to, watching Nick progress through this lovely stage. Where now we get to at least see Mario on land, dive in, rollouts, a lot of action.
Yeah, another small optimization is rollouts in this game, because you want to make sure you roll out the first frame Mario lands, or else you'll get dust and you'll start actually slowing down. Mm-hmm. So even like little rollouts, you gotta make sure they're optimized.
You see Nick maneuvering the camera a little bit to try to reduce some lag, staying in Mario Cam, so the camera's all nice and close, less triangles on the screen.
Yep.
Those clamps have bad hitboxes. You can grab the coins without, just go right through them. Sometimes I had a little problem with the first two clamps because if your angle's not super precise, Mario will hit them.
Yeah, the second clam, especially, is very difficult to, get that consistently. So not a huge shield to be hitting that.
I'm not going to do the wall jump because I always hit the invisible wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, especially if you don't know which cycle the ship is on, going for that. Like, you can wall kick off the back wall and, like, dive on, but there's, you know.
Yeah, there's a weird thing in
lot
this
of-
game where it's like a weird. I actually hear they're not walls; they're technically ceilings with like wonky floor collision, but there's just invisible walls throughout the game, and they're stationary, so you know where they are. But man,
Can
can
I
mess with-
ask? Can I interject and ask a question?
Mhm.
What's the llama's name?
what's the llama's name? We called him. I think Al. I think we called him.
Al.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we weren't sure if he was a llama or an alpaca, so we called him Al at first.
I'm proud that you tried to figure out the actual species of your plush toy.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important, you know. We can't be insulting the llama, alpaca.
One
What
thing about-
even is it?
I don't know. I don't know how to tell the difference. The plushie. Oh man, I messed up my star order because normally I do the chests at the end and I do ship clip earlier first. And I sometimes when you mess up with your star order, you get so used to it. I couldn't remember if I did the cannon star or not.
Yeah, I feel that.
And the last thing you want to do in a run is do the same star twice, which I have very much done before.
And now we will be ending with this cannon shot. Just trying to, you know, clean up the star
Unfortunately,
here.
I'm not on JP, so we got to do a little bit of a slower strat. On JP, this star is just like out in the open. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I messed up bad. That's fine. Don't worry.
Just
I'm
frame
playing on
walk.
the US. Oh, yeah, just frame. I have a Hori. I could do it. So on JP, there's a few small differences between JP and US. US in 120 star is technically slower, but it's about 2 seconds, I believe.
It's only a few seconds. It's not a huge deal unless you're literally at the top level.
And so normally that star would be out in the open, but on US it's in a box.
Yeah, this is literally the biggest difference. This is why 120 is run on JP, because that box animation is 4 seconds, and that's, you know, a pretty big deal once you try to get very optimized in this game.
Yeah, when world records are the last like few world records have been by like 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah, they've only been a
Each,
few
so.
seconds apart, so imagine, you know, you're not getting that time save.
Get to do the secret slide now. There are 2 stars to get here. One of them you have to beat the slide at all. The second one you have to beat the slide in under 21 seconds. And thankfully, because we're speedrunners, we just kind of ignore slides for the most part and jump to the very bottom. So we'll be spawning that 21 second star twice, but only collecting it once.
Hopefully, again.
True.
Sometimes collecting the same star twice is an issue. If you're not super alert. But in between those, we also got the wing cap,
Yes.
which flying's fun.
Yeah, flying is a lot like swimming, where, you know, when you're playing the game, you're like, oh man, I think Mario's going pretty fast or whatever, and you know, you're controlling him, you're making a move, you're flying. It's like, man, this is crazy. And then you also get to the top level, and somehow they save seconds over you and flying, just like, you know, being very precise with, you know, their angles and their trajectories and stuff.
Oh, come on. If you grab the star without touching the ground, you skip that text box.
I was almost scared for a second you were just gonna go off the edge.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess that's better. I guess getting the text
Yeah.
box is better than dying there.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly respect the button rollout attempt, though.
I love the button rollout.
It's a very
You
cool
could-
strat.
You can do it safer and land first, and it saves time overall. Blah blah blah. But like the button rollout's cool because it's a lot harder, but a lot more swag.
And here we hopefully, you know. Oh, we're taking a little
Yeah.
detour and then come back to the box.
Yeah, I got some awkward angle and some crazy speed.
Next up, we have the first Bowser stage of 3.
And probably the
Monka
hardest. Probably the hardest.
Can we get some Monka S's in chat for Scary Bowser stage, please?
I've had some issues with Dark World lately in runs, so Let's hope I can hit the Shigeru cycle. Oh my god, I already messed up my camera.
Yeah, so this is another stage where there's a good amount of stars in this game where we're going for cycles, and this stage is no different. There's a couple different cycles that we'll see later on that save time which cycle you get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I missed that jump.
And now we'll actually have our attempt at Dark World here.
Yeah,
so.
that's lag reduction right there.
That's some RNG manipulation, that death for sure.
This is probably the hardest star in lobby, so no one's gonna blame you.
Yeah.
And for those who are unaware, lobby refers to the first segment of this run. It's the first 26 stars in this route, ending after we finish Bob on Battlefield. And then we move on to basement.
No matter how many times I do lobby, I still struggle with it the most.
Yeah, it's a very difficult segment to get optimized and do consistently well.
It's a bit deceitful, really.
Yeah, because a lot of the top guys obviously at this point have gotten it so optimized because they've done it so many times where it's like, oh, these should be pretty easy stages. But when you haven't done it for literally years, these stages and stars are very, very difficult.
Hey, Bowser Dance RNG!
Nice.
That saves 0.5 seconds or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 10% chance that he dances there.
Yeah.
And then we have the infamous Bowser throws, although the first two Bowsers are pretty easy.
They're pretty easy, but also because they're quote unquote easy, it's very easy to not have focus and just be going willy-nilly and then miss a throw even here, and then you're losing out on a considerable amounts of time.
I've been watching too many other runners.
It's funny because that's what you would do if you were doing LBLJ route. So
yeah, that's literally what I thought in my head was I'm doing LBLJ for some reason.
Yeah. So now we re-enter Bob-omb's Battlefield. Before we just took a quick pit stop to get the bomb clip star that we did right away in the beginning, and now we're gonna go and clean up the rest of the stage. Now that we have the wing cap, we can actually get the rest of the stars.
Yeah, it's actually really inconvenient that you need the wing cap to get every star in this stage, or else we'd be able to do it all at once and save time on castle movement.
Yeah, 120 and 70 both, in the quote-unquote beginner route, have to backtrack to Bob-omb Battlefield.
Well, 70 has to do it no matter what.
No. Island hop.
Oh, yeah, duh. Oh, you meant backtrack. I thought you meant do it first.
No, yeah, backtrack. So, you end up having to, go into the painting twice, but eventually, people who are crazy, dedicated to this game, figured out ways so that we didn't have to go back into the stage twice because, gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Castle movement is actually a lot of optimization. A lot of the routing in this game is based on castle movement.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, this Bomb King star and the Koopa Race star you could technically get before going to Womps. We just don't because Womps is so hard. You want to get it out of the way first.
Yeah. Also, technically, it'd be faster to do one of the Peach's secret slides first as well. But again, just want to get Womps out of the way.
Yeah, RTA, when you're doing attempts, it's get Womps done now before, That way, if you have any sort of inconvenience in Womps, like we saw before, it's all right, we can just reset and we can try again and not waste as much time.
I know there are other routes that are technically more optimal where Womps is done much later in the run, but no one's ever going to do that.
Yeah. No one really opts for that unless they're doing some kind of, no reset attempts. And even then, people are so accustomed to doing the Womps early for their runs that usually they just stick to it and accept a little bit of time loss. It's no more than a second to do this route, so.
Oh yeah. This is actually probably one of the more interesting parts of Bob-omb Battlefield, the fact that we beat the Koopa Race, come back down the mountain just to open the cannon because Koopa the Quick is really a misnomer. We're gonna have to wait for him for a really long time once we get up there. So
Yeah, he speeds up after you finish the race. So we finish the race, and then we need to open the cannon anyways, and we're not going to do anything. So might as well jump all the way down the mountain, open the cannon, get back up, and we'll still have much time to spare. And now we have one of the harder ones, a harder 100 coins to optimize, I'd say.
or even just perform at all, really.
Yeah.
This is the only star in the game that you have to do shell movement, flying, and land movement all in the same star. And it is a gauntlet for that reason. Beautiful RNG.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, all those coins just flying right into your lap. That's one thing we haven't mentioned either yet. Is that like the way these coins like basically spawn and bounce and stuff are one of the little pieces of RNG that we have to deal with this run. You know, this any SM64 run is very minimal RNG heavy, so it's like these little like coin bounces we have to argue about because we can't argue about any other RNG in this game.
We're about to get to the flying section here. When Nick leaves the flying section, he's going to want 66 coins before moving on, and that'll let him skip running around one of the poles to pop 5 coins out of one of those at the end. So we'll see what the number is shortly.
Yeah, Thar, it is very nice and not to deal with, you know, absurd amounts of RNG just that ends runs.
I'm upset. Oh my god.
Still a good amount of coins to have out of the air. 65 is definitely not bad.
Oh, yeah.
I had a bad turnaround. I should have had more, but it's okay.
Taking a slip and slide. No big deal.
Yeah, now we get to this little fun part where, you know, I don't know if it's even mentioned at all that you can run around these poles for coins, maybe on that sign over there, but it's like such a uninstinctive thing to be able to do. Here, I'm going to run around this pole a couple times, and coins is going to spit out of the top randomly, where, you know, it looks like just a random log, so...
I can't remember for sure, but I think that sign only talks about, like, being able to punch with B or something. It's like...
Yeah. It might literally go unsaid that coins come out of these poles, and someone just randomly was, like, bored, so they started running around the pole, and like, what the? Coins came out of here.
Dude, there's so many weird things in this game. There's so many sections where you like touch 4 corners and a 1-up appears, or do like weird things, like hit butterflies and a 1-up appears. There's so much weird stuff in this.
Yeah, lots of
Or a
little
butterfly turns into a bomb.
Yeah, that happens. That freaked me out the first time I saw that.
Very fun stuff.
Now we just got a couple stars left here, and both these are the stars that we also need the wing cap for, besides the 100 coin where we just saw the wing cap used. So
we got a time for some donations.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so we got $20 from Philified saying, "Oh, this run fun will be far, no bap." And then another $10 from Philified with no comment. So thanks for the $30. I appreciate it. I don't understand why you left a comment and not, and then donated $20. That's your own piece. But hey, appreciate the $30. We're back. We're $20 away from $300 on the first night of the marathon. So let's keep with the hype. Let's go. Super Mario 120 run. Let's go.
Yeah, Phil is kind of a homie of all 3 of our streams, and yeah, he's kind of a character like that for sure.
Well, I mean, $30 sounds like a mad homie, for 3 streams. So hey,
We see him a lot.
He gets around, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
don't make
Mario
don't make it gross or weird. If it's around.
We're officially done with lobby.
All right, now we get to move on to basement, which most 120 runners agree is the hardest segment of the run. There's a lot that can go wrong in basement.
Actually, technically, it'd be faster to do Cool Mountain right now, but we want to get, just like how we want to get to Womps faster, we want to get a Shifting Sandland faster, as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people would say Shifting Sandland would be the hardest stage of this run.
A lot of people in this group right here would probably say that.
Yeah, and then right after we get done with it, we have to follow it up with probably, you know, if not the hardest 100 coin, top 3 hardest 100 coins in the run with HMC 100. So it's really a gauntlet, this next like little mini section of the run.
And not only is HMC 100 one of those top 3, but I would argue that SSL 100 is also one of those top 3.
Yeah. So really just kills you. Holding my breath.
Yeah, I held my breath.
Me too.
Very nice.
There you
First
go.
try pillarless.
I will say I got distracted and I heard nobody talking. I thought everything broke.
No, it's a tense moment.
It's a very difficult star. You know, there's a lot of different nuances to it. Frame perfect grab. You know,
Yeah, that
frame
grabbing the
perfect
bomb-
trick.
Yeah, grabbing the bomb, it has one frame to grab the bomb where it's big enough to actually get you in. So
Yeah. A lot of people literally spend, you know, upwards of like, I've heard people go as much as like 15 hours trying to learn that star just to like get it before, where, you know, that star is extremely difficult to learn and then get consistently. So the fact that Nick does it first try is very, you know, very pog.
And here's the star everyone likes to call the hardest star in the game.
Ooh, SSL Reds.
Yeah, the thing is like, you do the star. If you would do the star in like a let's play fashion, it definitely would not be that difficult because, you know, you can just take it very safe and just run up to the coin. You know, that first coin that Nick grabbed, you would just like grab it, run back, and, you know, Mario would be happy. But no, we gotta be speedrunners, so we're taking so many weird routes, so many, you know, death-defying jumps and, you know, dives that it definitely makes the star very difficult. And then there's also some optimizations that make it so that to make the star fast is very difficult.
Right.
Simply made a video about it, and now every chatter in the world likes to call it the hardest star in the game. Every time it comes up. Every time it comes up in chat, I hear it.
Yeah, that video is like very clickbaity, but it's still, you know, the star is still very difficult to do optimally and to, you know, perform well. So whenever you do get it done, it is a little bit of a breath. It's like, alright, a big part of SSL just was completed.
One little quick death isn't the worst thing in the world that could happen on that star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dying on that jump over the giant hill is, you know, not too shabby.
Hey, do you guys mind if I read a quick donation?
Of course.
Just for Nick. Nick, I got out of bed just to read this one specifically for you. It's $5 from Arju, and he asked, can you guys ask Nick to perform carpetless?
Can we ban Arju?
No,
Can we-
Arju just took your mod spot, Nick. I'm sorry.
Arju is actually an unsung hero of this stream now.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
he's in
Nick.
the
I
chat
had to.
saying, my streamer, and now you want him banned? Oh, yeah. We'll get to that later. I'd assume we'll bring it back up again.
Well,
but
we'll touch on it, and yeah.
it's a running meme in the SM64 community.
meme implies funny.
Well, yeah. True. It's been very drawn out and has well overstayed its welcome.
But at 100,
yeah, this star is Pog. It's so cool. Like, this outside movement's very fun to do. The inside the pyramid movement, once you get past how bad the camera is really fun to do.
boy, is the camera bad.
And in both of those circumstances, it's still very hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another thing where it's like, if you would go and take your time on this star, it's not, you know, it wouldn't be too difficult to be able to do it. But we want to go fast, so in order to go fast, you're doing a lot of stuff that is very risky. And very risky in the stage often involves, you know, flirts with death. So
This pyramid movement especially, we'll see how Nick tackles it.
yeah, like anytime you know, miss an input, you could fall all the way down and literally lose like upwards of 30 seconds. So you're really trying to like be careful here not to fall down, but also go fast.
Well, if you miss those, I hit little secrets on each of those platforms. If you miss one of those, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily Nick's on the English version, so he doesn't have to deal with a sound glitch that could literally just crash your game. So that's nice, at least.
That's another reason I wanted to run on English, especially for a marathon.
Yeah. A little bit of that safety where, you know, for unexpected reasons, your game literally just says, no, we're done here.
It just crashes. It crashes after. The sound will just stop, and then once you collect the star, it's sayonara. Just black screen forever.
I noticed in the chat we've passed the 300 mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we passed the 100 mark, everyone. So, hey, we're hitting it off real hard, real strong. Let's keep it going, okay?
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
Slow down, you know. Oh, and by the way, Jake Aquarium also put in a $20 donation saying NicV is the most handsome speedrunner around. Best look to him and the one commentator out of the two, because obviously you got to fight for the best commentator. So you know what? I don't know whether you want to have it be like mud wrestling, some sort of like battle to the death with like like the dancing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I don't know what it is, but you guys figure it out. That's not my problem, okay? I'm here to talk, not deal with it. So have fun.
We might have like a karaoke competition later or something.
Busting out the side flip version.
You gotta sing Suteki Dane from Final Fantasy X, and whoever does the best wins. It's a little weebish, but I don't care. I'm the host. It's my competition. Deal with it. Learn, and I'll talk to you guys in 5 days. Bye bye.
We love you too.
Oh, I love you, JQ. I can't be the most handsome speedrunner with you. How am I supposed to compete with that? JQ's out there.
True.
In the suit. Oh my god.
Can I also mention that you're a nutcase for busting out the side flip version of topless?
So much easier. It's so much easier.
So neat looking, and you're cool for that.
I love it. I love the side flip. It technically loses 0.5 seconds, but I think it's so much more consistent and so easy, and I don't see anyone do it, and I love it. I love that side flip. It looks like there's no way you'll ever make it, but it's actually not that hard.
Yeah, we escaped out of SSL without,
Yeah, that could have gone
a major pitfall. We had the one quick death to Reds, but...
Little trivia, my PB misses Pillarless 7 times in a row, and loses 2 minutes to Shifting Sandland.
So yeah, definitely an upgrade over that Shifting Sandland.
And now we get, in my opinion, the actual hardest star in the game.
Yeah, this is another one where if you did the Let's Play strats, bringing up your YouTube channel. What's up, guys? Today we're going to do HMC 100. It wouldn't be that bad. But trying to go fast, doing all these long jumps, flirting with...
Oh, thank God.
Are you gonna ask people to like, subscribe, and hit the bell? Because that's pretty cringe. I'm sorry. Like, don't be talking about that kind of stuff here.
That long jump into the red coin is insanely hard, and I've been having so many struggles with it. I'm so glad I hit that right here.
Yeah, that is easily one of the 2 major parts of the star that'll ruin your day if you mess it up. And thankfully, Nick hitting it first try. Well done. We're going to have a BLJ in a little bit. That's probably the other part that people are scared of, but who knows? Time will tell.
Yep. It's a BLJ that looks really cool, so it's a nice part to have in. And, it's very easy to mess up, but it's also, easy to...
Oh, man. I don't know if I got the right... I think my angle might be too messed up. Oh! I got in.
I was gonna say you might get in, but yeah, that angle is really wonky. So
hey, it works. I got in.
Hey, you're through there. You're in there like swimwear, baby.
that BLJ is not the hardest thing in the world, but doing it in the middle of such a hard star, 30 minutes into a run, and the fact that if you mess it up, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, messing it up requires you to trigger the elevator again to have it rise up so you can try one more time. I'm not exactly sure how much time it loses to make that mistake, but it's definitely not ideal.
It's a good enough time.
I messed up a little bit.
In the double digits, I'm sure.
Blue coin. Come here.
Oh my god, this is not the hard part of the stage.
As we're finishing up, it seems like we do have a little bit of a birthday in the chat. So we'll say happy birthday to Swift Shadow. Happy
Oh,
birthday.
hey, Swift Shadow.
Happy birthday, Swift.
I mess up the ending there a little bit, but that's okay.
If you collect the
Wait, hold the
100th
phone.
point,
Hold the phone. Am I singing happy birthday to somebody in chat?
You're gonna sing?
Can we coordinate a happy birthday? Whose birthday is it? Swift Shadow.
Swift Shadow.
All right. Do you wanna can we get a quick little whatever?
Little countdown.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Happy
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shadow. Happy birthday to you. That was terrible. It was terrible, but we did it. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? We can't get DMCA it because fuck them. All right. it's in the public domain. All right.
This
You guys
song
are
is like 100 million years old.
I'm glad you guys did happy birthday, because that you missed me messing up a few things.
Yeah. That's fine. We got the Rolling Rock Star. Pog.
Pog.
And before Disney copyrights happy birthday.
But yeah,
You know,
happy birthday. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Disney owned the rights to Happy Birthday at some point. They'll figure out a way. Ooh, there we go. Don't pull a Flixer. Nice.
That triple box jump is a lot more precise than it looks. It looks simple, like just like a triple jump, but you have to make sure you don't slam into the wall, and then you also have to make sure you have to avoid death planes while falling.
Yes.
And the triple box jump's actually so much fun. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, we get to do it one more time, and
There's a couple of things that we do once in 70 star and twice in 120 star, and this is one of those things.
Yeah, a lot of them are fun.
Oh yeah.
and very fun when you mess them up, especially like the first time, because then you're like, oh boy, I have to do this twice, and I already messed it up the first time.
Yeah, triple box jump is definitely one of those things that a lot of people consider pretty tough. And then in 120, you do it twice.
Yeah, it's that, and then like Lakitu bounce and Rainbow Ride, which is you have to do that twice, and in 70 you only have to do it once. So a little bit of added pressure to make sure you get it down.
I hope
Yeah,
you
'cause this run
enjoyed
doesn't have enough pressure.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the first and only time that we get to see the metal cap in this run.
Yeah, the metal cap is actually pretty useless.
Besides for the great jams.
I know, I'm so sad. It has like the best song and the least use.
Yeah, the metal cap music is a big cat jam for sure.
One of the stars that the developers intended for you to use the metal cap was one that we have already collected. It was the Jetstream star in Jolly Roger Bay. You're supposed to grab a metal cap in the beginning and walk down the sea floor to go get it, but we just sort of swim it at top speed because they didn't make the Jetstream strong enough.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird things like that.
And later on in this stage, we'll see a star where, they were intending us to use the metal cap as well, and we're just going to jump from really high and trigger the button rather than being heavy Metal Mario and triggering the button. Or maybe we won't jump from really high, we'll just, jump from really close and still somehow trigger the button because that's how poorly programmed that button is.
That button's super weird. Everyone has a different idea of how that button works.
I remember there was a meme running around about every Mario 64 copy is personalized. That is the biggest evidence that I have for that claim, because that button...
One has like a different idea of how it works. Like, it's height, no, it's speed, no, you have to dive, no, you have to ground pound, no, you have to do this.
It's like,
Eventually you figure out what works for you and you just do that and screw everybody else.
miracle.
Yeah, Christmas miracle. But that went perfectly fine. What works best for me is trying to get a lot of height on the triple jump, and then I seem to get the button pretty consistently now.
All right, one more quick one, and then we'll move on to the next stage. What'd you leave for us? I'm not even sure. Is it emergency exit?
Yeah, it's emergency exit.
Okay. Well, this is a quick one for sure.
Yeah, very quick. And painless?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I tend to... Everyone has like a different star route and different reasons for different star routes, but I try to leave the easier stars for last. Get the harder ones out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And emergency exit's a pretty easy star.
Right. And as we've mentioned before, basement is easily one of the, biggest pitfalls in the run for 120 runners to try to get through it all. And because of that, because of SSL and HMC 100, the rest of HMC and then this level, LLL, a lot of the times ends up going under practiced because you spend most of your basement practice in the really, really hard stuff. So we'll see if that is a pitfall for Nick or if he is actually smart and practices every star. Unlike me.
Trust me, I'm dumb and have lost 3 of my last 4 good runs to LLL, but that means I did practice it for this marathon.
Yeah, it's funny because you go through those gauntlets of SSL and HMC 100, and then you kind of take a little bit of a breath, like, phew, you got those done. And if you aren't focused for the rest of HMC and then LLL, it's like you can definitely lose way too much time here. So.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think LLL is one of the easier stages, and I think most people would agree, but it's also one of those stages where if you're not 100% focused, you can lose so much time. Getting burned on the lava is bad, and often if you get burned in the wrong spot means death.
Breaking the shell at all?
Oh my god. Don't remind me.
Yeah, but Nick is laser focused here because it's a marathon.
Definitely
not losing focus on these stars, so he's just punching them out like they're just so easy peasy.
The 3 most annoying enemies in the game right here, and Nick dispatches them with ease.
Yep. one little straggler. Oh, I missed this part. One little straggler, but we're good.
I think it's...
Sorry.
All 3 just trying to talk a lot. Nick,
those bullies can be rough, and I'm really glad I got them pretty quickly. If you miss up that ground pound, things are going to start going bad real quick.
Yeah, that's the thing. You let those bullies live, and they'll make you pay. They also know that, wait, this red Italian guy just tried to kill all of us. We're gonna make sure that he pays for that. And
yeah, don't worry. They'll make their comeback. They'll get their revenge. They'll at least try to right now.
They tend to call their cousins over in Fire Sea to see if they can do something about.
Well, right here we're gonna see them again. See if they try to stop me from grabbing my coins.
That's also true. Yeah.
The bullies could be really annoying on this show.
In my opinion, this is one of the most fun 100 coin stars just because you get to do a lot of fun shell movement and ride around Lethal Lava Land with pretty much reckless abandon.
Yeah, BOB 100, you get that little bit of time on the shell, but it's nothing in comparison to, all this shell shredding action.
Nick getting some bonus coins from the puzzle. Very nice.
Yeah, I messed up a little bit, but if you mess up a little bit, then you just grab some extra coins. It makes things a little bit safer.
Yeah, definitely don't be afraid if you miss some coins. You need 80 going into the volcano. So
that was the spot that's very easy to break your shell, and if you break your shell, it's really rough, which is why I took it a little bit safer and just went okay, I'll go around.
You got the good eyeball RNG too, so you're schmoovin'.
Yeah, you have a ton of coins. You gotta spawn the star early on that coin line.
You can skip the lava spitter coin if you wanna.
I'm going to
once you get back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this volcano movement is very tricky to go fast because obviously the developers are intending you to be very scared of all this fire and flames and falling death traps. So it's you're gonna go slow, but we want to go fast.
This little blue thing is the worst.
Yeah. I did the little wall bog.
The visible second guess on spawning the star there was great.
Yeah.
All right.
No, nothing too bad has happened, at least.
It definitely could have been worse. Again, that's a lot of this game is that like you make a mistake, but like we try to back it up, and at the end it's like, well, could have been worse.
It could always be a lot worse. 120 is very much known for like meltdowns where a single split loses well over a minute.
Yeah, so much time. And that's the difference between, again, like the mid-tier 120 and the top-tier 120 is that top-tier 120, they lose, you know, a couple seconds every stage, and then their meltdown is like 20 seconds for the one stage. And then the mid-tier guys, it's like you lose, you know, 10 to 15 seconds every stage, and then your meltdown is like a minute and a half.
miss plus seven times and lose 2 minutes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Die or ride 3 times and lose a minute.
Oh man, I just did the hardest strat in the game, I swear.
I 100% agree with you. That bunny grab is the biggest pain in this entire run.
That's one of those things that even casuals would agree that MIPS is the worst thing in the world. That's even casually, MIPS is terrible.
It's another thing, like when you do it well and you just look at it, it's like there's no way that can possibly be hard. All you did was run a little bit, dive, and then grab the bunny. But
the amount of time I've spent on running a little bit and diving to grab the bunny.
It's so crazy how, you know, when you're really good at this game or when you end up, you know, magically getting the trick, you make it look so easy. And you go back and be like, how do I ever mess this up? And then you go and you mess it up and you're like, I am so angry at this game.
This star is an absolute treat too, Vanish Cap. It's another one of those cycle-based stars, and if you're a common folk like us and you take the regular cycles, then you know this star isn't that big of a deal. But if you go for the fast one, oh my goodness!
I go for like a intermediate cycle, I go for a faster cycle that I messed up, but that's not too big of a deal. Oh, and I missed the wall jump.
No Siglemic, sad.
No.
Sad.
You have to get a firstie to grab the star, right?
No.
Really? No,
Really?
hold on. My bad. Well, every time I don't get a firstie, I always miss the star, so.
Yeah, the height off the triple jump / double jump is the important thing. Making sure you're max height when you wall kick.
And now we're out of the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is often known as another one of those like breather stages that isn't very difficult. But you know, 120, even the breather stages, you have to have a difficult star thrown in there. So you have CCM reds, and you know, wall kicks will work is very easy to mess up as well. So it's like there's a couple of difficult stars thrown into this quote unquote, you know, easy stage.
Okay, that's fun.
That doesn't seem very fair, now does it?
Yep, I was just about to say I'm glad I hit that, and then I missed the star a little bit.
Walked up past the star.
Just a little bit. Actually, CCM Reds is one of the like most fun stars in 120. I'm really sad it's not in 70 star.
Yeah, it just takes so long to go around.
But it's so cool.
It's so much fun.
The movement you get to do is really cool. Even this like long slide on the snow, it's just like so satisfying.
Oh, I just barely missed that coin.
Yeah, you literally couldn't have missed it by more than like a couple pixels. So you're literally right next to it.
Zooming around.
With reckless abandon.
Yes. Everything is done with reckless abandon in this game.
Yeah,
True.
a little bit.
Literally everything. You don't have time to wait.
Nope. This game has been pushed far too far along. Where
The ways to die in this game, oh man.
infinite. There are infinite ways to die.
Every day you learn a new way to lose a run.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
Every week, a new invisible wall.
Oh my god.
The amount of time I've watched different runners and then just something will happen to them and they're just like, that is the first time I've ever seen that.
That actually never happens. It's like, that is actually quoted on every SM64 stream. Like, at least.
and you're just sitting there eating popcorn because you saw 3 other runners lose runs to that.
You're like, haha. Didn't happen to me this time. Haha.
It'll happen to you. I've been that person. We've all been that person.
Right. It always comes full circle.
The first time anybody sees the penguin fall off the slide is the best.
Oh my god.
So like Nick is gonna go back on this slide and race the penguin with the 100 coin later, and for whatever reason, the penguin can just decide to hop off the slide, and you'll just be waiting at the end to finish the race, and you're like, where's the penguin? And the penguin later just goes like, nope, I don't want to race anymore, and falls.
It just falls into the void.
A void of blackness. There's no way there is like milk and cookies down there.
And to expand on how that actually works, in this game, there's, especially for the Koopa and the Penguin and anything that you race, right? There's rubber banding so that the races are, quote, close, as close as they can be, I guess, with how they're coded. And for the Penguin, that rubber banding is based on how far away you are from the Penguin. The further you are away, the faster the Penguin will speed up to catch up. And there's one particular corner on the slide that if the Penguin is moving too fast, it'll just boop right off.
Such a small chance, but it's hilarious when it does happen.
Mm-hmm. So there are runners that have played for years that have never seen it.
Yeah, and there's literally like basically nothing you can do. It's not like you can really like purposely slow yourself down so much so that rubber banding doesn't happen, because again, you want to try and finish the race as fast as possible so the Penguin comes and finishes as fast as possible. So it's like if you randomly get that where the Penguin just decides to finish a race in a different fashion, then you just have to kind of take your lumps.
All right,
We're good.
here we go.
We're good.
We're good.
If you're unlucky and grab that star, that 100 coin star, too early, the Penguin can actually sort of just push you off the cliff. And I think Kyra in the chat has mentioned something like that.
I've experienced that once or twice myself, where the Penguin will just murder you, and it hurts because that's one of the worst stars to mess up because it's a very long star.
Yes. For sure.
Any 100 coins is like the worst thing in the world to mess up.
Yeah, there's a couple 100 coins where you can mess them up like at the end, and then you're literally just going through the whole 100 coin star again for
Tiny Huge Island,
a minute and a half. And it's like
Tiny Huge Island, yeah.
It's like great. I just took all that time and now I'm dead and have to do it all over again. Or
Tiny Huge Island is probably the biggest offender of that because it's pretty easy to die at the end. There's a few other that are worse, like if you fall off the carpet, for example, but that doesn't happen very often.
Right. But again, that's another example where that's literally over 2 minutes. Close to 3
terrible.
minutes that you could just lose because you messed up, the very ending stuff with 100 coins.
We're going to my favorite level.
Oh, I hope everyone has rubber bands.
Yes, that is the meme. Yes, the stage is not fun to watch. I get it, but to play it, oh my goodness, it's a blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and grab some refreshments and something. I'll be about like 8 or so minutes once I get maybe you'll be
8 minutes.
8 or so.
I hope it doesn't take me 8 minutes. This is known for being a boring stage to watch, but I disagree. I actually think it's not a bad stage to watch.
I do have to say you get more of an appreciation for it once you have done it. Once you realize how cool it is to go from room to room, that the little movements, the little nuances that you get to do, it looks a lot cooler when you have played the stage and gone through it yourself. But for a casual viewer, you're going from small secluded room to small secluded room, doing little mini tasks, and it's not too crazy.
And I noticed Nick avoided the factory this time on Ghost Hunt. The factory refers to falling down to the basement of Big Boo's Haunt, where there is quite literally nothing you can do. If you're in the basement, there are no stars to get unless you pick star 2, but we pick star 1. So if you fall, you just sort of eat, what is it, 40 seconds or something?
It's a good chunk of time.
Well, it feels like 20 minutes. Every
Yeah,
time
it
you go.
feels like an hour to get back, to be fair.
Mhm.
I don't think there's anything that like makes you like me feel worse about a run than falling into the factory.
Yeah, at this point, like in my 120 career, if I end up factoring myself, it's just I'm gonna go and take a walk because I'm so frustrated and resetting that run.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by this point in the run, you're like 55 minutes deep or more. You know, it's like that's a lot to lose from one little mistake.
That's a pretty good time investment in your life to just throw down the drain.
And there are a few spots where it's really easy to fall in there.
Yeah. Like at the end of this 100 coin, for example.
Right. And this part of the 100 coin outside the mansion is also very interesting because you activate the vanish cap and then it just sort of becomes a race against the clock to make sure you can get back through that portal before time runs out and the vanish is gone.
Also loses a ton of time if you get stuck in that room and you have to go all the way around.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yeah, we saw there the vanish cap was blinking, so it's like, uh-oh, scary.
Uh-oh, stinky. Anyway, we have a few seconds for donations.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So we got 2 new donos, one from Vilified, just $5. Thanks, I guess. Appreciate it.
No
And one from Kyret. Hey, Nick, Schnoz, and Chip. Heard about this nice marathon run, so I figured to throw some money for a good cause. You need that tippy practice for Sunday, Nick. So I'm glad you get it today. Love y'all. Heart.
Much love to Kyrit.
Much love, guys. All right. For a quick little, drop off. The whole point of this marathon is to raise money for the RAD, or the Rise Above the Disorder, which is a nonprofit dedicated to battling the greatest barriers in mental health care, which are both access and affordability. So, the obvious choice here is to make sure that people get both of these options of, can get the access they need to that, help that they want and need, and the affordability to it, because healthcare is obviously an expensive expense. So, you know what? We're here to make sure that happens, to increase that number of 37,000 people helped in the world to as many as we can help, because it's a huge overall effort to make sure that people have their mental health work out well and live the best lives they can. So thanks, boys. Keep it going. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kyra. What he was referring to is there's actually a large relay with the Mario 64 community that's happening. It's a tournament, and mine and Chip's first match is on Sunday.
I get the easy bookie of who's gonna win, because I want to make sure my bet goes in good. Like, do you guys have it fixed or no?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think our team is a safe bet, to be honest. We've been practicing a lot.
Our team's pretty good.
Mhm.
There's this other guy, Schnoz, who's in the tournament.
Wait for your
I'm
guy
pretty
to-
sure. Yeah, there's another guy named Schnoz in it. His team is pretty bad. They're like everyone just kind of makes fun of them all the time behind their back.
So if you're saying that I went and bet on the other team might say that you were bad. Like, I want to make sure that, like, there's not any sort of like fixing going on here, 'cause that's a little illegal.
They're lying directly to your face, saying that they're good and my team is bad. So it's almost insulting that they would insult, your intelligence like that, thinking that you would just believe them.
We'll see.
I am absolutely 5-head all the way through, so don't.
That's
even
what I'm
worry
trying to
about
say,
it.
Foxy.
I know what I know. Okay.
I'm insulted for you that they would insult your intelligence like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now this is the third and final time that we get to kill the big boo, huh?
Thor, that was great. Foxy apparently being found on Craigslist. Can't believe you had an ad, out for hosting gigs, unless you maybe brought it up a little bit.
You know what? Trying to find my niche for quite a while now, and I found Thar because he's not a shady dude, but he's an interesting man. So
He did have a large trench coat in those.
Yeah. Just my trench coat matched his, so it's okay.
He's shady, but it's not that he's not shady.
Man, in a dark alley, some nice ambiance music playing.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that where you get hosts for your charity marathon? It's like a dark alley behind a Wendy's.
Yeah, usually, yeah. That's my first place I go, at
As
least.
long as it got Frosties with fries,
Ooh,
you're in the clear.
there we go. Bingo, bango, bongo. And now Nick goes to see an eyeball, and an eyeball is gonna poop out a star.
I mean, if you guys want to talk about the actual speed run going on, that's okay too. It's
Cool. It's BBH. Everyone in chat's ready to play with rubber bands.
Yeah, everyone else doing other stuff.
Everybody rips on BBH, man. Justice
sorry,
for my
Chip.
favorite level.
I'm sorry, Chip. Well, don't worry. We gotta go from one super thrilling stage to another.
Ah, yes. So now that we're done with BBH, this is, in my opinion, the hardest star in the game.
Yeah.
I can see it. I definitely think it's up
Very
there.
difficult. 100 coin.
It's again a lot of these stars. They're not like I'm not gonna die in Dire 100. If I die in the star, oh god, but to do it optimally and to not lose just massive amounts of time is difficult. This is a star that's so easy to just 20 seconds gone, 30 seconds gone.
It involves the hardest swimming in the game, and then it involves some very difficult lag reductions while you're doing some very precise movements, and it's just all around a test of your ability to the maximum in this game. So I'm really hoping to see some good stuff from Nick here.
Yeah, we're back with trying to control giant boat Mario, so it's all fun.
With the little twig.
Eventually, though, you must up enough, upper arm strength that it's very, you get more control over them. Row.
Technical difficulties, I see, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it was just the swimming part anyway, so.
Right, so, hopefully the stream just comes back up.
Maybe it'll come back at the cool part of the star, and then we can all be happy.
Here, let's you
want to commentate Chad, or?
I was gonna see if we could imitate it. So, like gloop, gloop, gloop.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. How long do we have to glove for?
I don't know. A lot of gloops. A lot of swimming. I don't know how do you make the coin sound? Think.
Ding,
Gloop,
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 ding, 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 ding.
Mario finally gets to take a breath of air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets out of the water. It's time to go. Woohoo!
Waha! Oh, Nick's back.
Oh.
Is the stream back?
My OBS is resetting.
Oh.
Should I my internet just dropped completely. That's never happened before. I'm very sorry.
Like we said, SM64 runner saying this has never happened. I swear. This
oh
never
no,
happened
I am playing bad. My internet dropped. Oh no, hands in the air.
I just moved into this place a few. Okay, it says OBS is back up. Am I? I just moved into this place not that long ago, and
I refresh your stream and your stream's back up. So
I don't think it's up on.
Probably not yet. They probably just
Team Velocity.
Refresh it now. It's up now. Should be.
At least it left us the fun part of the star.
True.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice until I opened up. I thought everyone was just being silent because swimming's difficult, but
no, we didn't care that much.
It looks like it's still not popping up.
Yeah, it's up for me now. Dog.
What's that?
Dog ate my internet line. Sad.
I can do it for Schnoz. I can do the rest of the run just for you, Schnoz. Okay, there we go. I think I'm good to go again. I see it back up on Velocity stream, so I'm going to continue in 3, 2, 1, go.
Cool.
All right,
we're back. Oh, and he gets the side flip dive for the red coin. Pump.
Wait, are we back from the past, Samurai Jack style?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Watch out.
And now you can see that Chip's and I imitation of this star has been pretty spot on. Like, I think we mimicked the sounds pretty darn well.
Yeah. All right, now we have the annoying jump for front sub.
Yeah, not only this front
Beautiful.
sub, and then this triple jump dive.
Oh. I'm really upset that that had like a delay in the middle. That
was a good DDD.
That was a really good DDD 100. Actually,
we didn't get to see the swimming part, but
don't worry, it was absolutely perfect.
I figured as much.
100%.
I figured your coin rings were tight. No.
Somewhere in the distance, Collins VG is screaming unverified.
Unverified.
That was actually a really good DDD 100. I
That was impressive.
always fall off the sub in my runs. Every single run, my gold, I fall off the sub, and I'm really upset that that's the first time I don't fall off the sub.
Not gonna lie, like we're a little bit behind you, and when you're like, I was like, nah, he missed the triple jump dive, and then like you nailed it, and I'm like, what? It's like, oh, I see. So you're just mad because unfortunate technical difficulties.
This star is low-key a good star. Probably one of the only other good ones in DDD, to be honest. DDD has that really long tunnel that we actually didn't get to see him swim through, but the other stars in this stage require you to swim through that very long tunnel, and it's not so fun. But this one, you at least get to do stuff in the first part of the level, so...
Yeah, and it doesn't have the troll manta rings, so we'll take the star.
Unfortunately, that tunnel makes DDD kind of boring. I think if it wasn't for that tunnel, it'd be a lot better. And we're almost done with our first trek into DDD.
Yeah, now.
Now you guys see the tunnel.
Nation tunnel.
Yeah.
You also notice that like Dire Docks just has a ton of lag. This is the most famous stage for just massive amounts of lag. Especially, it's all with this sub. You'll see right here, the game just starts slowing down like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this sub has way too many polygons, way too big for the N64. The N64 is like, I cannot process all this information. Please help. And like a kid, basically throwing a temper tantrum, it slows down.
From what I understand, there's actually some kind of built-in optimizing features in the N64 that they just kind of have disabled for this game, so it really doesn't need to lag as much as it does.
Right. I mean, let's just bypass all those features so that we can have our experience. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
There I was going for, again, a faster cycle, and I messed up basically the very end of the cycle.
Yeah.
The triple jump onto that second platform is probably the hardest part, at least for me, and I messed up after that, which makes me sad.
I think a lot of us could agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this being a Bowser stage is, again, one of the gauntlets of the game. Very much
literally.
a test of skill, movement. And all of them are cycle-based in some way, shape, or form, so...
Yeah, some of the cycles, like in Dark World, I think each cycle is about 4 seconds. In Fire Sea, each cycle is, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
I believe so.
And then, honestly, I'm going to be real. Sky, I don't even worry about cycles.
The cycles aren't that big of a deal in Sky. It's literally a cycle or two.
Unless you're a 16-star runner, I don't hear many people talk about cycles.
Yeah. The cycles in Sky are basically just the, I guess the windmill-looking platforms that have the 4 on them,
Yeah, trying to catch those at opportune times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm
That was so close, man.
I don't usually do that, and I did it earlier in practice. And I was like, oh, I'm totally doing that in the marathon. That was easy first try, and then yeah, that's what happens when you.
Well, thank you for giving me a heart attack running around that close to the edge.
Yeah,
That's fine.
you know, there's hot lava down there.
It's fine.
Everyone
if you
in
fall,
chat
then
is
you
just scared out of their mind now.
I gotta keep it interesting and enticing. Especially because we're going back into DDD. Yeah, we're not done, by the way.
They're like, oh no, my streamer scared. Now go cool yourself off. Have a dip in the pool.
Mm-hmm. A little more recently, there were some lag reductions that were more RTA viable that allow us to go to DDD and collect some of these stars before getting the sub star to go to Fire Sea, but those lag reductions are honestly quite technical, and they make some already tricky stars even trickier. So,
especially this next star I'm about to do, Into the Jetstream. Again, the second Into the Jetstream, by the way.
Another star where you're supposed to have the metal cap, and this one is much more apparent why you're supposed to have the metal cap. The one in the Jetstream and JRB is like pretty easy to get the star in. This one is very difficult, and it's very easy to mess up and have to like re-swim in, but hopefully we can time some swims. We'll probably be quieter to make sure that Nick can time his swims, huh?
Right. After we get through this big long tunnel again.
Yeah, fun tunnel.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of time here. Round the star, right?
That's very good.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Again, it's a star that's looking at it. It's like, why are they saying that it's so difficult? All he was doing was swimming straight down. But it's literally like you miss a swim or you have a little bit of a different angle. You just don't grab the star at the end.
Yeah,
and you have to force yourself out of the jet stream and then swim back in, and it's really annoying.
I implore anyone at home to try that star. It's a lot trickier than you'd think. That's one of the few times that like you have to do pretty good like swims, or else you won't have enough speed.
This star right here is probably the most action-packed one in the entire game.
Oh yeah, really.
Look at here, we get to swim through this tunnel,
get to the other side of the level, grab an invisible cap, and then.
Okay, so we got out of the water, and this is when the real action starts. Oh, back in the water.
Yeah, give me back in. I'm scared.
Yeah, there's all there. That's it. That's the star.
That grabbing the invisible cap while diving is the coolest thing you can like. Or I guess there's also like a wall kick one. Grabbing the invisible cap is the coolest thing you can do in that star.
Yeah, that's really it. Otherwise, it's just swim. Oh, jump. Oh, swim.
And this time I actually am supposed to go back into the Bowser stage.
Yep.
And we're done with downstairs. We've now entered upstairs. Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, yeah, basement's probably like the hardest section, and like, but man, upstairs does not mess around either.
No, it doesn't. And plus, upstairs is usually, it's at least an hour deep. No one's ever gotten into upstairs in under an hour, so.
Yeah, 102, like a low 102 is like the best ever.
Mm-hmm. Instead of just being a raw test of movement, it's also a test of your endurance as a runner. Now that you've gotten so deep into some high execution gameplay.
Yeah, a lot of people will like look at runs in two halves, like you're downstairs and you're upstairs. It was well known that like when Simply got his world record, he had like the best upstairs ever at that time. I don't know if is it still the best upstairs ever?
I know that it was slightly better than Cheese's. And it had to be better than Batora's, but someone might have it since then.
Yeah, Batora is known for his amazing downstairs. He's the one with the best, like 102 something to get into upstairs. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to clutch that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, especially, you grind this game for years to get to the, optimization level that those guys are at. So all of a sudden you get there, and then you get to the end of a world record pace run that you've been working years for, and so much pressure built up and so much time you've already poured into like all your runs that to deal with that pressure and secure a world record in this game is absolutely insane.
There's one of those one-up spawning for for an inexplicable reason.
I was just jumping here. What are you doing?
What Dry World 100 coin is actually one of the most interesting 100 coins for a couple of reasons. Just because not only do you have to get a perfect coin count here, there are no backup coins on this route whatsoever.
Well, it's the spiders.
Yeah, but the spiders are a little RNG based.
Yeah, they're not great. They're not a great backup.
Yeah.
Usually there's no immediate backups for sure.
Right. Well, in like BOB, for example, there are extra coins kind of built into the route, so to speak.
Yeah.
This one is a perfect 100 coin flat, but also this 100 coin route is different than the 100 coin route that we do in 70 star. It's the only stage that we have a different 100 coin spanning different categories or main categories. I think some category extensions do some really weird stuff.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, for 70 star, we don't want to have to go and take that long swim because long swims, you yuck. So we skipped that whole like town section with all that actually really cool movement, but it just takes too long to go over there. And we actually do the 100 coin with this star that Nick's doing right now, all these secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take off my headphones real quick because you have to kind of hear this star.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of there are visual cues, but when you're trying to go fast, you don't actually see the visual cues of the secrets. So
especially on the 2 blocks you have to push.
yeah, like if you see like some newer runners, they'll keep pushing until like they see the number pop up of like which secret you just grabbed, and you know when you're trying to go fast, you actually get the secret like noise before you could even see the number. So like right when you hear that noise, it's like boom, on to the next one.
Oh, I didn't notice that you didn't do this star first.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, do you do the star first?
It actually saves time if you do this star first.
Yeah, the movement getting into the stage, just doing like a double jump dive into the stage is a little bit faster than doing a backflip.
It's about 0.2 seconds, but it is faster.
Yo, that's so much of this game. It's like
literally, though, this game is built on 0.5, 0.3 second optimizations everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, why is this star like the hardest star to wall jump in?
Because the camera sucks.
The camera here is so bad.
I have seen so many really good runners just can't wall kick on that star, and it's not just me. I've seen it before.
Yeah, it's literally like when you're trying to grab the cap, it's hard to wall kick. When you're like right before the star, trying to wall kick there is really difficult. It's just a pain in your rear end. But now we take this nice little, little jaunt up this cage-looking contraption. Oh, there's a star in there. I wonder how we're gonna get that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And in a casual perspective, you would just ride that elevator back up, but
or
that's
or if a speedrunner messes up a few times and just ends up riding it back. not that I would ever have done that. Like yesterday.
Wall kick. Yeah, that's the thing is that there's a lot of strats that Chip mentioned it before. There's a lot of strats that you can go for that would save more time, but also involve a lot more difficulty and a lot more risk. So like a lot of times, you're trying to pick and choose which strat to adopt to your run in order to save the most time, but also not risk so much that like you just never finish a run ever because all your tricks are too hard.
Which is very possible.
That's for a lot of people, that's actually one of the most gratifying things for this improvement process in this game is that there's always something that you could be doing better in quite literally every single star, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's. Oh, sorry, continue.
I was gonna say, like, literally, like, the world record holder right now, Batora, like, there are optimizations that he doesn't do that probably loses him, like, upwards of, like, 20 seconds, which at that level is, like, so insane that he's just, like, optimally, or, like, choosing to skip out on optimizations that loses that much time. But it's, like, you literally cannot learn everything in this category and, like, perfect it.
Right.
I mean, did Batora even do moving reds?
I don't think so.
He didn't, at least in his world record.
And there's also a lot of different optimizations that are just sort of discovered, and then no one has implemented it yet, because to do so would mean unlearning literally everything you know about the movement. It's not optimizing the current movement, it's completely going a different direction to achieve the same result. There's a newer movement that you could do to get up to Bomb King that saves, 0.2, 0.3 seconds. Technically faster, but you would have to unlearn everything you knew about that movement just to potentially save that 0.2, 0.3.
Yeah, so all the time you put into a star, all right, we're just going to tell you to throw that away and now learn this new movement to save, barely any time. But the thing is that you keep learning those little time saves, and those, like we said, they add up eventually, especially at a run of this length, where if you keep throwing in those kind of time saves, eventually at the end you save like a minute.
And speaking of, this might not be the hardest 100 coin, but it might be my least favorite.
Oh, it's a very difficult 100 coin to do, again, like, consistently well. Like, there's so many little hiccup points, like, we saw with the ground pound all these Goombas. You accidentally, like, jump on one, you're losing a good chunk of time.
Well, there's the manipulation to get the Lakitu and the Fly Guy, too.
Yeah, that's very easy to miss, one of those, and you're chasing after those. It's like all these little things, this, red coin movement, very scary and spooky, because...
Yeah, this is where you die. And cry.
We were talking about with like Penguin Race, in CCM, if we messed up that 100 coin at the very end, it was very tough. You could just fall down in this cave and then die and then throw away all your time in this star, and that's almost
fun.
Yeah,
I've died on this star and just like sat there looking at my screen, just lost all will to live,
just dejected, just ready to literally throw Mario repeatedly off the edge just to show him the pain that you feel at that moment.
Yeah, I remember there was a Schnoz, even you had trouble with that 100 coin for quite a little bit.
Oh yeah, my chair from the stage has taken a beating. So
yeah, I think in terms of stages that there's sort of a consensus on stages that people find fun and not fun, I think THI is one that people tend to put in the not fun.
Yeah, it's definitely it's just so frustrating because it seems like such simple movement, but such simple movement that can easily be messed up.
There's something about this stage that just feels like not as smooth as other stages.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. I still like the stage. I think, when it comes to Mario runners, we'll all complain about stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all like, oh man, all 15 stages are pretty awesome.
And to be honest, like practicing this stage, I love practicing THI. It's just, once I get into runs and there's so many little things you can mess up and then get, and then you have runs where you mess that up and you're trying to really focus not to do that mistake again. And then you do that mistake again. It's like, that's when you get really frustrated.
We actually missed I clipped into the mountain. Normally you're supposed to become big, lower the water and break the top of the mountain, and then go back to being small, then climb back up the mountain and go in, but that's a bunch of boo hockey, so I just clip into the mountain. Way faster, way easier.
Yeah, and we'll see another use of like that clipping into the mountain
and
later.
Secret. Oh, I don't do the other.
Oh, do you not do that?
Nah.
Alright, so there's another use of that mountain clip too, where you can basically bypass going around the mountain. But also we did see it in the, like you said, the secrets where you clip into the mountain. That part of the mountain just doesn't have collision, apparently, if you're going fast enough.
You can clip here to save again another like what point? Isn't it like 0.5 seconds, 0.4
It's
seconds?
not a lot. I think it might be a second. Actually.
Yeah. It's a strat that like I have decided, I don't think it's worth how difficult it is because you lose a lot more time than you save. But that's like the thing, like every runner decides what strats they like, what strats they don't like. Does it save enough time? There are some strats that like I probably shouldn't do, but I just like the strat. Like it's just a fun strat.
Yeah. And that's another thing, like just trying to learn strats. Like, are you having fun learning the strat? Because then you'll put more time into it and get it consistent. Where if you're not having fun even learning the strat, then it's like, why are you going to put time into it to make it consistent? You shouldn't, try and put that in your run. And that's another thing, especially with 120, just the mental aspect of like the grind of this game, because you're putting so much time in you're putting so much time learning all the stars, learning all these slight optimizations we're talking about. It's literally why like now the mental coaching is, you know, in the works to being offered to people, because like it's such a grind, this category, to try and, you know, optimize their time to the level that the world record has gotten to.
It's so crazy. I was talking to Shanaz about this the other day. It's like you start doing runs and then like you get into wet dry world and you're just like, oh my god, I haven't practiced this in a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
It just goes back to the point. You literally cannot. There's not enough time for you to consistently practice all 120 stars, right? It would just take too long. You would never be able to do runs if you were just always trying to practice every single star. So eventually, like, before you do runs, there's going to be parts of your game that literally just haven't been touched in maybe like a couple weeks. And it's like, oh, okay, now I need to figure out how to do like Cloud Stage again, because for some reason I'm on the back burner.
Especially like sometimes the easier stages. Wet Dry World was the most recent one for me. Wet Dry World is not a very difficult stage, and I got to it recently, and I was just like, oh my god, I forgot how to play this game. It's been so long.
This is where Nick's relay segment begins.
Oh yeah, Shanaz, you're not allowed to look anymore because you're our opponent in the relay race. So
yeah, I'm gonna take your strats.
Yeah. Oh, Shanaz, this is your segment too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I get the fun one. You guys get to do the clock.
What do you mean? I actually really enjoy this stage for 120.
Chip, you're the only runner in the world like, haha, you have to do TikTok clock while I do BBH and DDD.
Yeah. You're in a world of your own right there.
Well, you know. Really, it's more so TTM. I don't like this stage at all.
I like this stage either. I really wish this was part of your segment, Chip.
This is another stage where it's so hard. There is so much you have to do. This 100 coin is very difficult. You know, the 3 mountain clip stars are difficult enough.
In my opinion, this is also one of the top 3 hardest stages.
Yeah, just to consistently do well. It's like, there's not one really particular thing that is like above and beyond like, oh, this star in a vacuum is so much harder than the rest of them, but it's just easy to, like, this wall kick.
Oh my god.
It's actually super difficult, and it shouldn't be. Like, there's no reason that wall kick should be as difficult as it is, but that's literally TTM in a nutshell. It's like, oh, this thing that shouldn't be difficult. It's very difficult.
That is the best way to describe TTM. I was talking to Frostbite about that. Like, there's a log wall jump later, and it's long jump and wall kick, and you do 1 million of those in the run, and it should be so easy. But for some reason, this specific one is just so difficult to get every time.
And you do it 3 times.
Yeah.
In this category, you're doing it 3 times. And then, you know, eventually later on, you throw in breezeless, and then it's like, oh, great. So now we have all this random junk, and then you're throwing breezeless at the end. And, like, world record, you know, pace runs have basically, you know, been catastrophically destroyed because of that time loss. It's, like, insane.
So if you notice, we got 99 coins before exiting the slide. If you spawn the 100 coin star on the slide, it's not the end of the world, but it is a little bit annoying.
I've done it before, and then I didn't realize I was gonna do it, and I fall off the slide trying to collect the star. Oh,
yeah, it's pretty, yeah.
On the Cool Mountain slide, you know, you get to the end of the slide and you can long jump back and grab it with ease, but there's no coin that's close enough to the end of this slide to make that happen. So.
And yeah, one-eyed, like the monkey grab for the star is also very annoying, because if you don't get your setup properly, like doing that monkey grab is super annoying.
That was janky as heck. That was janky as heck.
You're really just YOLOing that angle. Like,
oh wow.
You could.
Like, that was not my smartest decision.
That angle isn't like super precise, but it's precise enough where it's like you should probably line it up and make sure that, because that like box jump thing, like, it looked easy enough that you could just willy-nilly it, but if you're off by like a little bit, you just miss the mushroom entirely and you fall to your death. And Nick was like, yeah, I don't care.
I just went for it. It was probably a bad choice.
Ooh, I love the attempt, though. I really love the attempt.
Yeah, you had to go for it.
Yeah, speaking of the wall kick giving me issues, I'm having issues with the wall kick. That's the log wall kick that's a little bit rough.
Yeah, and don't worry. It's like we have to do it 3 times.
Yeah.
No more backups.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, literally, every single step of the way, 120. There's a fall point in like every stage where it's like, boom, your run can just die. It's like, oh, all right, you missed this log wall kick enough, run over. It's like such a grind to get through to make sure that you're not having that happen.
Okay.
Little 4 weird movement here.
Gonna go hang out with the log.
We're going around. I don't care anymore.
That log on his day off, having to work for NicV. It's kind of unbelievable.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's also invisible walls all around the log.
Yeah, literally like the most unsuspecting spots. Mostly it's stages that go up, like very vertical heavy stages have a bunch of invis walls just by the way that invis walls work. It's those kind of polygons that end up having invis walls that, you know, don't make sense.
Either that or any kind of situation that has just overly complicated geometry to make a specific shape.
Yeah.
And of just a big flat wall type of surface. Like Battlefield doesn't really have a lot. Ooh, great.
Yeah.
All that to go well, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, so it's
That's
funny.
Sorry, you want to explain?
So I'll just do it. So basically the way that's supposed to work is you're supposed to grab him, you click free him, and then as your reward, he'll give you the star. But normally, he takes his sweet-ass time and walks all the way around the mountain on this little walkway. It literally takes like 20 seconds for him to get to the spot, and then you have to talk to him again and be like, hey, I'm at the spot, and I'll give you the star. Where we're sick of that, so we grab him on like the little piece of the mountain and skip that. So when we free him, it thinks that we freed him, but we're still holding on to him, and then we drop him down by like that little talking animation, like checkpoint spot.
And
So
even
then-
the ground pound is kind of precise. If you do it onto the slope, he will walk even farther all the way around.
And then he'll walk back up the mountain and basically shake his bum at you, like, haha, I'm up here now, and then he'll go back.
And then if you go too low, he'll soft lock and you have to do a different star.
No, it's actually not a soft lock.
Yeah, you can take him back up to the top of the mountain and he'll do the text box again.
Yeah,
Oh.
basically re-prompt you to free him, and then you'd have to set it up. It's a gigantic waste of time, but it's not a soft lock for the monkey.
Oh, that's why I usually just back it up with the bridge if he does that.
No, this stage right here actually has a lot of similarities with THI in the sense that like the geometry in the level is not the most friendly. So there's a lot of really specific types of jumps that are very irregular just to get around. You know, a lot of runners tend to complain about this level as well, especially the 100 coin, which we can talk about in a moment.
Hopefully after this.
Yeah, we were talking before about how, you know, there's not a lot of RNG in this game. Like, it's just the coins. This is the level where RNG really just kicks you and beats you mercilessly.
You know, Snowman's Head could have gone so much worse. That star is infamous. It looks pretty easy. It looks pretty simple. And it's probably the easiest star you could lose 45 seconds on.
Yeah, that's a pretty apt description there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, taking care of those 2 stars right away though definitely is a good start.
Yeah, now we're on to the 100 coins. These enemies right here, they're called money bags you know, the reasons described. You pop them and then they drop some money and then the coins just go to
every other direction than you want.
Yeah, you can get favorable RNG where like the coins just stay right there for you and you're like, oh hey, that's very nice of you, and I'll just nicely grab these. But most of the time, especially if you're on any kind of run with any kind of pace, it literally I'm gonna go away.
Wow.
That was so unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I swear. The money bag coins are always just like the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get good RNG or you could get what I just got right now.
Yeah, the jig's up, boys. Scatter.
Oh no, we've been had.
Oh my God, and this igloo is so awkward to move in. Oh my God.
It's another example of the camera just being absolutely awful.
It's so frustrating. Oh my God. And I have to grab extra coins because of the money bag.
Make a coin, yeah. To be honest, if there's another Goomba like right here, you could grab him too.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll risk it.
You'll just get the.
You can get the Fly
snowman.
Guy or Snowman.
Yeah, I'd say
later.
snowman.
Ooh.
Well, if I collect every coin, I should be good.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah,
58
I
is
shouldn't. Okay, I want. Oh my god. Again, coin RNG.
Whoa.
Like almost every. Oh my god.
Dang.
Hello. All right.
Our favorite
And-
forgotten Mario
Oh
enemy.
my
that's been good.
god. Oh.
So awful.
So every single. So the biggest RNG is from coins is when they pop out of enemies, and a lot of your coins here from popping out from enemies. So
Like, sadly, we just can't route this stage with enough coins without killing a million enemies. So,
Yeah. And in this game, you know, the most of the strats revolve around keeping and maintaining your momentum as optimally as possible and as quickly as possible from point A to point B. So every single time that you kill an enemy in this kind of route, you're basically kind of stopping and recollecting yourself and making sure that you get your RNG accounted for, and then you can keep going. So it's not the fact that the RNG itself is like so terrible that you're going to miss coins all over the place. It's just the fact that you have to stop a lot.
I'll just say, do not go for that
not
coin.
worth it. Not worth it. That
Snowman down here.
I have to. This is a great backup. Oh.
Yeah.
This is what I would have done.
And so yeah, so two things. If you break your shell before you get the red coins, in that ice water actually acts as lava. The other ice water just hurts you while you're in it. That one acts as lava, and you will die if you don't go in there like with very. There's a precise way to do it without the shell, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's awful.
And it was not worth it for that last coin.
It sounds like every star in this run is hard. Every star in this run is hard. That's
Yep.
fact. Even the easy stars are hard
God.
because this game is hard.
I sort of like you're saying that this game is hard, so every star is hard. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
The crazy thing is, like, every star can be as hard as you want. A lot of these stars have super easy, safe strats. You'll be slow, but you can make this game as hard or as easy as you want. If you want to get like a 2-hour time, you can do a lot of safe strats and it'll be easy. But man, like even this star, like right here, this is probably, I think, the easiest star in the game. But you could do a double jump into it, and it's insanely precise and incredibly difficult. And that star, that simple 6-second star that's probably the easiest in the game, can be made insanely difficult if you're trying to be optimized.
Yeah. And there's even with the chill bully that you're about to do, like most of us are going to be doing 3
This-
long jumps and then a jump dive into the guy, but you can do some Z slide movement into him by getting a different setup that's harder than that. And then there's the single star strat that has a C up slide on the slope, and it's like, wow. just to get there, like
Yeah,
And
if you ever like spend the time watching individual star records, like people who grind just individual stars and the strats that they use, it's a whole different game than like the actual like main categories of this game. It's so insane, the movement and like precision that you're able to accomplish when you're just grinding out, very small sections of this game.
And here we are in the super sketchy Tippy.
oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Starting with Cloud Stage, which on the surface it's like, oh, a bunch of rainbows around. This can't be very harmful, right? Well, it's not unless you fall off and then you literally lose over a minute.
For some reason, they decided if you fall off in this stage, instead of just killing you and putting you back out, they'll just put you outside of the whole castle, and you'll have to climb all the way back up to Tippy.
Well, that's because you're in the sky, so then
Yeah.
you fall out of the sky, and where would you fall other than
You can't fall into a building. That
Yeah.
doesn't make
Oh
any
yeah,
sense.
sorry.
Have you
that's the
thought
one-
about how that would work logistically? This game is very thought out logistically.
Yeah. Like earlier when you died in the sand and then it spit you out of the wall.
Right.
know?
That makes sense.
So when
You're
you
right,
fall
guys.
out of the sky, you have to fall out of the sky. Just
You
make
guys
sense.
are just see. This is like the difference between like good runners and me. It's just like, man, you guys just understand this game on a different level.
Right. We are one with the game. We are one with the programmers. Dying in Rainbow Ride also makes sense. Yeah, so when you die in Rainbow Ride, you spawn back outside of Rainbow Ride because reasons.
Okay, I'm gonna be silent for this next stage because now we're in not necessarily. Well, I think TikTok Clock's also one of the hardest stages in the game, but this is when things get really tense.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about what if Rainbow Ride had the same mechanic that Cloud Stage did, and if you ever died in Rainbow Ride, you actually fell the whole level, but Toro's world record never happens. Oh my gosh.
Every single 70-star run that has the triple jump wall kick bonk thing, and just
There was just complete sadness.
man, I am glad we don't live in that world.
But as Nick is going through his 100 coin, very clean beginning so far. We're just schmoving.
As Nick mentioned, this is a very difficult stage. Lots of precise movements everywhere.
Yeah, it's a very difficult stage, and this 100 coin is also one of the most, at least technically precise. There's so many like tight side flip, wall kicks, you know, precise jumps, long jumps, jump kicks in order to grab all the coins here. So it's like very cool when you see this star. That's the word I was gonna go for. Done well.
And that was a beautiful 100 coin in TikTok Clock from Nick.
Yeah, literally minimal pickups. As we say this before, he grabs the star and usually somehow.
I was gonna say it was good, but I never say it's good before I grab the second star. But that was good. A few mistakes, but I'm actually really happy with that.
Good. I didn't say stomp on the thwomp was good.
All right, Foxy, I'm glad you understand it all. I'm glad you're right with us.
You know what? That's what I'm here for. Is just kind of translate all of it, make sure that it's correct to the layman. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, and it's not over. TikTok Clock is not over.
Yeah. These stars are very visually pleasing because you start off with this triple jump wall kick into another, triple jump, and it looks like absolutely insane. It's like what? Like, watch this beginning. Boom, bang.
No! That's such a weird way to mess it up.
Wow, that was extremely weird. You are correct.
I'm gonna take a
safe. You know what? I've never seen that before in my life.
That never happens.
That literally never happened.
I am taking this super safe and slow.
Who makes that mistake? That literally never happens. We live in a society.
I took that super safe and super slow, but it's fine. Whatever.
The economy's in shambles. It's okay.
Right. We will rebuild. We will get through this.
Since when? Is that a mistake that anybody makes?
Hello!
To those who know Zoofy, shout outs to Zoofy. Incredible runner of his own right.
I took that a little bit safer because I wasn't 100% certain on that triple jump, and I decided I wasn't going to risk it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that once you make the slight mistake, all of a sudden it's like now you think about it the next time you try to do that same movement. So it's like,
yeah.
TikTok Clock and Rainbow Ride are both stages known to just eat like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you mess up, it's just
it's just very easy to fall and die because like a mistake in TTC and Rainbow Ride usually results in death because. As you can see, we're just long jumping carelessly and like jumping over this bottomless pit, like at all times. So you make one false step and a lot of times you fall to your unfortunate demise.
Okay, that was close. We almost fell to our unfortunate demise.
Nick trying to show that off for you guys, but
I just wanted to show that side flip triple jump because I didn't get to do it the first time.
Yep, there you go, Pog.
That's like one of my favorite jumps in the game, and I wanted to show it off, so that's why I fell.
Yep, first try, clean, nice.
Beautiful. Easy.
Easy clap.
All right, and then
pretty
much gone as quickly as she came. TTC.
It's the shortest stage in the game, am I right?
I think
Yeah.
stage RTA, yeah.
It's like the only stage I can think of. Well, I don't know what the best like Womps ever is, because it's usually paired up with something else.
It's longer. It's actually Womps is like closer to like around 5 minutes, maybe.
No, I thought it was like
it's
low 4
something.
minutes. It's like
Or is it
low
low
4.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
low-
like high 3 minutes.
Mhm.
And then we gotta go to the best stage. Rainbow Ride's I have a very mixed relationship with Rainbow Ride.
Rainbow Ride is a very satisfying stage to perform well, but like mentioned earlier, you're constantly floating above a bottomless pit, so
It's so easy to just lose incredible amounts of time here.
Because it's very easy to just die and
Everywhere.
die and die again.
the 100 coin is also quite the treat too. We'll see if he starts with that. Yep.
And my god.
A little unlucky on the Fly Guy coins. You can bank those for 2 extras if you get lucky enough.
Now we get to do a little pole dancing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I messed up the Lakitu.
And I just showed you.
Oh my god. This Lakitu is not being my friend right now.
Like, too, we would like to use your delicious coins, please.
Oh my god,
Thank
okay.
you.
Well, actually, I have an interesting question. Is it faster to get a bomb or spawn the star with the red coins?
Bomb.
Yeah, one
Okay.
bomb. If you only need the one.
Mhm.
Good. I was curious about that. So now I got my answer.
I mean, obviously, you have to do the bomb still, like, sort of well, where,
Yeah.
like, you're used to doing the red
Oh.
coin movement, but... Yeah.
Oh. You went.
That was unfortunate.
So the difficult part in terms of routing is over. You guaranteed need 50 coins by the time you hit that blue coin switch to be able to finish the star the way that we intend to finish the star. So thankfully we have
Oh
the
my god.
coin count.
That's not a good sign. Yeah. I was like, there's no way he could have done the log jump already, so...
The leap of faith.
Yeah.
I was
Just walking off the edge is another way to mess that up.
that's what I get, because I was gonna hit it and be like, oh, I'm better than Batora, because he messed that up in world record. I was like, look, I'm so much better than world record, but that's
And
what
that's
I
what you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never disrespect Batora. Batora is power.
Notorious fish.
All right, and anyone got any donations or any stories they want to tell, or anyone want to braid each other's hair or something?
Yeah, this is literally the
Wow,
part.
you really have a lot that you want to talk about, like hair braiding.
We got some time. Don't worry.
It's just, I haven't had anybody asked me about that before, so I don't know how to respond to it. So,
We literally just play Aladdin for the next.
yeah. It's the next 20 minutes are all Aladdin. So
We actually,
it's
actually turns into the cutscene from the movie, and
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
This is the whole world new.
a whole new world. Wait, do we get Rob Williams or Will Smith? I
mean-
I love me some Will Smith, but
It's
Robin
the original
Williams.
movie. We got
Okay.
Robin Williams.
We got Williams. Okay, yeah.
Rest
Be
in
careful,
peace.
guys. You mentioned
May he rest in peace. As
Yeah.
The ultimate Disney genie. But as our folks have said, stop in, enjoy the time. We're supporting Rad. It's the excuse me. Rise Above the Disorder for the it's a nonprofit that's supposed to be supporting the mental health care and accessibility for those that need support for those sorts of services, and to make sure that we are able to provide those services and work towards change that to make sure it's available to those who need them. So everybody's ready here. We're here to make sure that everybody is getting the services they need, and as we get our 115th star, am I correct? I'm a little bit behind, but
Yeah, 114, 115, something like
114 on 50. We're pretty close. We're pretty close.
Yep, we're getting there.
that. So we had an unfortunate attempt at what's called the Kitu bounce, where we bounce off the Lakitu to try to get up on that little platform there. Mario does not have enough height with his triple jump to make it to that slope quite enough. You can actually triple jump and wall kick and happen to butt slide at the edge of the slope, but you actually have to land on a surface for 4 frames before you can jump again off of a butt slide animation. So we're unfortunately not able to make it on far enough that we can stay on there long enough. We need the guy, and didn't work out.
We'll do it again though right now.
Oh yeah, and then we'll do it again.
Oh my god.
And again?
No, just
again and again.
Oh, I'll fail it again.
Earlier we mentioned box triple jump in Hazy Maze Cave was one of those tricks that you get to do once in 70 and twice in 120, and Lakitu Bounce is the other one.
Lakitu Bounce is definitely one of the hardest tricks, especially so close to the end of the game. And it's difficult and frustrating because you have to manipulate the movement's pretty precise to manipulate the Lakitu into the right position so that you bounce off him.
Yeah. Anything manipulation based at all is pretty frustrating.
A little bit finicky.
Yeah.
Because obviously, this is the first 3D platformer really of its kind. So it's like anything program wise is, to try to even understand is very interesting.
I will take 2 out of 3. I will definitely take 2 out of 3.
Oh,
well, let's nail this cannon shot first before we start talking.
So yeah, that cannon shot shouldn't mess up.
No, you shouldn't mess it up. But sometimes you don't think about it at all.
Oh man, no! If I'm on pace and I'm in Rainbow Ride, I think about that cannon shot. Believe me.
Let me make sure this is good. Is this good?
I'll call up my mom and be like, "Hey mom, can you check up stream real quick? Is this good?"
Yeah, this is a good angle. We ready to rock and / or roll?
The rest of Rainbow Ride is actually not too bad.
Yeah, reds and swing in the breeze are pretty.
Honestly, Lakitu Bounce is, at least for me, like that's the hard part of Rainbow Ride.
Yeah, you do Lakitu Bounce, you're pretty home free. Like even people doing like pro tricky triangles, like once you do pro tricky triangles enough, it's like that's not even comparable to Lakitu Bounce.
And well, now let's hope I don't mess up the rest of Rainbow Ride.
Right.
The rest of the 1 star.
Star.
So we've got 2 stars left. Are we announcing, last 1, 2, a count down, a count up? I don't know. Whatever you're feeling. It's your run. You do as you feel.
We're at a magical 119. And we have 1 more star, which is actually in the Bowser stage itself. So we're off to Final Bowser. In one of the coolest stages, I think. This is probably my favorite Bowser stage.
Yeah, and Bits Reds is actually really exciting. It's a really cool route.
Oh my god. I hope I do well. One of the few golds I have that's actually better than Chips.
This is true. This is true. I am not good at this one.
Oh my god, and then I messed up the first one.
Yeah, that's a toughie. It's a very precise triple jump to get that. The wall kick there is a good backup, and in fact, it's even the advantage trap for a lot of runners.
Okay. I do that every time.
We'll do it again. Just to show off that triple jump this time.
Also, fun side note, my last 3 PBs have done that exact thing.
How about that?
Sounds like your PB has some time saved yet, Nick.
A little bit, 8 minutes to save.
That is true. Do have that 146 sum of S now. Congrats to that.
Thank you. Doesn't make my 154 any better.
No, but it means that you're going to pop off one of these days. All right, getting up here nice and easy. Ooh, he's got the side flip. There we go. That is a very, very tricky side flip to get over that fire spitter.
That messed up the easy part. Yeah, the side flip is not as easy as it looks, but a lot of fun.
Yep, another thing where we say, man, It really looks easy, but it really isn't.
Yeah. In fact, I remember when Cryptic was practicing for 120, he mentioned that he was not going to go for that side flip because Punkei had told him that it was like the hardest side flip in the game to nail.
I don't agree with that.
In his opinion. I don't necessarily know if I do either, but I can definitely see his point in terms of how tricky it is.
I mean, I can't really argue a different side flip that really comes to mind, so there's that.
That's a fair point, yeah. Maybe the one to get up to the top of the TTM 5 coins.
Yeah, that wall. That's
TTM Reds.
Well, that's like the wall kick, though. You know, not just the side flip. That's literally just the side flip.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
And here we go. We are 3 Bowser throws away from the run being done. Have we all enjoyed our journey?
I think so.
Yeah, I'll take it as a yes. I'm waiting
Okay,
for
4 Bowser throws.
so long, Mr. Bowser, but you know.
I should have said 3 Bowser throws into bombs away. But yeah, Mr. Bowser is getting tossed like a rag doll. Mario's showing off his superhuman strength.
And that Super Mario, time will be coming up as soon as I hit the star. The second I hit it, that's time. And that's Mario 64, 120 stars.
That's literally all the stars in the game.
Every single star.
There are none left.
Oh, there we go. That's it.
That's all the stars ever that will ever be created. There's no more stars. Not even grand or the normal type, or I don't know.
That was an interesting run. A little rough starting, but that actually didn't go too bad after a while.
157's not bad.
No, not at all. Especially for a marathon.
Yeah. For no reset marathon, I'm not too upset with 157.
Yeah, for the I mean, at least your estimate, you did a great job. So
I was just like, I was hoping for like at least 155. A part of me wanted a PB, like Chip said. I'm like overdue for a big PB. I was like crossing my fingers, but as long as I'm under 2 hours, it wasn't too bad of a run.
Yeah.